Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show. Whoa. Hey, everybody, week 14, episode 14 of the Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show. Coming at you, previously recorded from the Boxy Hoodie Studios, a.k.a. my dingy-ass basement with no TV. That's right. That's what we got going on here. We got the Lions versus the Los Angeles Rams. Right now, as we speak, Jared Goff, formerly a Ram, now for the Lions. Stafford, formerly a Lion, now on the Rams. This ain't the first time they've played each other, but still kind of fun to watch. And I was watching the game a little bit, and then I realized, you know what? I got to get down here and do this podcast because people are depending on yours truly. They're depending on yours truly. And that's what brings me, this weekend was the first opening, or not the first, not the first opening weekend, but the opening weekend of the NFL season. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. When I was a little kid, I had this movie called, what was it called? Yeah, it was an NFL Films movie, Football Follies. Football Follies. Anyone ever watched that? It was actually kind of funny, some of the stuff that was on that movie, but what the hell is that guy's name? Casper for the I think it was the Oakland Raiders. Well, it was the Raiders. I don't know if it was Oakland or LA. I think Oakland, when he returned that fumble, but he kept kicking it down the field. And then, hey, he's from Chilton, Wisconsin. That's right. If you're listening to this show, you probably know where Chilton, Wisconsin is, and that's where he's from. And then there was a play on there. Brett Favre, my non-family member hero is Brett Favre. I think I've said that on this podcast before. He can do no wrong in my book. He can steal all the money he wants and gives it to whoever he wants, and I will still hold him to a extremely high level. He can do no wrong. He can go to the Minnesota Vikings, which he did. And God damn it, I went to a game. Me and some buddies drove all the way out to Minnesota and went to the game. Minnesota Vikings versus the Buffalo Bills in Favre's second season with the Vikings, and he went down, I believe, on the third play. Mr. Iron Man himself, down on the third play, out for the rest of the game. And there I sat there. Why am I here? I don't like the Vikings. I wanted to watch Favre one last time. And he went out on the third play, and there I was, sitting there for what seemed for eternity to watch the rest of that game. And then I missed the Packer game. And that was a game where, like, Donald Driver had this awesome touchdown catch where he caught the ball and he ran like 60 yards and he did like a backflip over some defender and missed the whole thing. So, I don't know. There you go. Something I'll never forget. But it is, as I just don't, I don't know what's wrong with me. So the Green Bay Packers played against the Philadelphia Eagles on Friday night. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I fell asleep. Missed Jordan Love got hurt. Missed it. I didn't even know about it till the next day. My wife had to tell me, for Christ's sake. How embarrassing is that? I just fell asleep. I slept like a little baby on the couch. And then today, I was going to watch some football. Like guys do that. They watch football all day long, all day, like 9 hours of football Sunday, which I have nothing against, and I did it myself today. But at the same time, like then I kind of noticed, like I'm gonna go in the garage for a little bit. I'm gonna go, like I did other stuff. I don't know. I can't, not only that, but like then my wife's all like, unload the dishwasher, do load the dishwasher. So like I really want to know how if anyone's listening to this that truly just like sits on the couch and just avoids their family for a whole day every Sunday. How do you do it? How do you get away with it? How do you get out of your duties as a husband and a father? I would like to know. Please tell me so I can do the same thing. But what are you gonna do? The watch. I don't know. Like I said, the Packers, they freaking lost. And I was thinking about this, and this is what I wanted to talk about. So I am a diehard Packer fan. Like that's the team. That's my number one team. But I've been noticing that I thought about this because I always want to have Packer parties, which I think is everyone across the country would do for your team. You have people over, you watch the game. And I'm thinking about people to invite to this Packer party. And I'll be honest to God here, when I think of all my buddies that I would say, hey, come over for the Packer game, not many of them are actually Packer fans. And I'm trying to figure this out. Like, if think about this and let me know, because I'm dying to know. Send me the emails. Okay, I have one friend who likes the Raiders. I have another friend who likes the Vikings. I have another friend who likes the Giants. Okay. Another friend likes the 49ers. Another friend likes the Cowboys. Another friend I know likes the Browns. They played today. Another friend, all these people, and we live 30 minutes from Lambeau Field, right? The greatest stadium in sports is in our backyard. And I don't understand why like people wouldn't. Like if you lived in a state where there wasn't a team, that makes sense. Okay, then you can pick. But when you literally live half an hour from one of the most storied franchises in sports, not even the NFL, but in sports, and you don't, not only do you not like them, but you hate them. I just don't get that. So if there's a psychologist out there that's listening to this, can you please let me know what's wrong with these people? I just don't get it. I don't understand. Now, I will say, obviously, so I'm just a Wisconsin guy, right? I like the Packers. I like the Brewers. I like the Bucks. I like the Badgers. I root for the home team. I get the Cubs, though. I will say this. I do understand the Cubs, especially if like you're an old timer, like if you're a grandpa, because there was a time there when Milwaukee didn't have a baseball team. The Braves left, and there was no such thing as the Brewers, and you could watch the Cubs on TV, and they were the closest team, so you like the Cubs. But the thing is then I just don't like anything Chicago. I don't like anything Illinois, as you all know. I do not like Chicago. I hate the Bears. I hate them with all my heart. I don't like the Bulls. You gotta like Michael Jordan though. I mean, that's the thing. You gotta like Michael Jordan. That whole thing. But I'm gonna root for the Bucks or for the Bulls every day of the week. And then there was not an NHL team in Wisconsin, so there you go. Now I had this pick, like, okay, who am I gonna pick? And I thought about the Blackhawks. And can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. But then I was like, oh, maybe Minnesota. But then I was thinking the Calgary Flames, because that is the hometown of my favorite professional wrestler, Bret Hart. But what I'm getting at is, if you have a hometown team in your backyard, you should like them. Now, why am I saying this? Because my son, MJ, whom you all know, a guest on the show, told me today that his favorite team is the Chicago Bears. and then he looked at me and said, the Packers stink. I like the Chicago Bears. And I said, you don't fucking talk like that in this house. I didn't say that. But I asked him, I said, why, but I was honest with him. I said, Mason, MJ, whatever your name is, the Bears suck. Okay? The Bears aren't any good. Okay? Why do you like the Bears? And he got all mad. He's like, I like bears. And I remembered, he's 5. His favorite animal is a bear. So there's a team called the Chicago Bears. He likes the Bears. So I need some help also. Okay, so he's 5. Is there a way? Is it too early? Is it okay? Like, should I not worry about this? Will he come around? Or is he at this age where his brain is malleable, where he will like the Bears, and he'll grow up and his brain will be wired to like the Bears, and then I'll have a goddamn son who likes the Bears, which, I mean, that would be very disappointing as a father. I mean, that would really hurt. But I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out if I should really push this or not. Because I'm serious. I mean, I'm dead serious about this. I do not want him to be a Bears fan. I will let it slide because his favorite animal is a bear, but I do not want him to grow up to be a Bears fan. And I don't know quite how to handle it. I don't want to ruin our relationship. But speaking of those goddamn Bears, they won today against Tennessee. I didn't see that coming. I thought Tennessee was going to win that game the way it started. But Chicago won that game 24-17. What else we got here for scores? Let's do a sports podcast. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers dropping the Atlanta Falcons 18-10. Speaking of Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins, now the quarterback for Atlanta, loses his first game. The Buffalo Bills against the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, there's another thing I wanted to talk about. So even though I am a Packer fan through and through, there's still a handful of teams that when I watch the ticker on the TV, you always kind of just are happy if they're winning or if they won. The Arizona Cardinals and the Buffalo Bills are 2 teams for me, for whatever reason. I don't know why. I believe it's because of playing Tecmo Super Bowl as a little kid. The Buffalo Bills, they were always really bright on the screen, and I just always thought that was cool. And I also think that Buffalo in the AFC is, their fans, the city is very like Green Bay-ish. I have that in my head, that they're like the Packers of the AFC when it comes to their fan base. Stadium in the northern part of the country without a roof. Not like those pansies, the Vikings and the Lions, where they got domes. Where they play outside. I think that's pretty cool. Those are 2 teams I always kind of root for. Now, is anyone, if anyone here is a Packer fan, which I'm, or whatever fan, do you ever have other teams that you kind of kind of root for, like kind of see them and like, yeah, Buffalo won. Oh, good. All right, cool. Yeah, it makes me happy. Like that definitely is a team for me. Another one is the Miami Dolphins, probably because of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. You know, I loved Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. When I was a little kid, I had and Ace Ventura always wore a tank top with like a Hawaiian shirt over the top. And I didn't have a tank, but I wanted to dress up like Ace Ventura, but I didn't have a tank top. So I got me a scissors, and I took a nice turtleneck, a white turtleneck that was like a church shirt, and I turned it into a tank top. And well, we can laugh about it now. We can laugh about it now. But so I like Miami Dolphins. When I see them, they won today 20-17. That makes it makes me happy. Minnesota kicked the shit out of New York Giants 28-6. Giants, man, they just suck, don't they? Like I just feel like my whole, now granted they won 3 in my lifetime. They won 3 Super Bowls. I want 2 for 2 I know for sure, obviously, and then did they win one person? I think they won one like in the early 90s, maybe just one. Either way, they have as much, if not more, Super Bowl titles in my life than the Packers. But I feel like the New York Giants just always, even that aside, I feel like they always suck. I just feel like they always suck, and they suck today. We got the Seattle Seahawks over the Denver Broncos. We have Los Angeles Chargers beating up on the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Dallas Cowboys just kicked the shit out of the Cleveland Browns with Tom Brady on the call. Tom Brady, I thought he did a pretty good job. But what do I know? That's the thing. I don't know much of. I like sports, but I don't know anything. I can't sit there and have an intelligent conversation with people, and all these people are talk so goddamn smart. Like fantasy football, for example, you got all these people. I never got into fantasy football because it's fantasy. Like it's like, why don't you just play Dungeons and Dragons right away? But I want to get into it simply for the fact because of I want to be cool. I want to hang out with friends. All my friends, they go do these fantasy football drafts, and they all get together and have fun and drink beer. And I'm just sitting at home with my wife and kids, and like I missed out on it. And now I feel like I'm too old to get into it. Like hunting. I don't hunt. I don't have anything against hunting. I just never did it. But I like venison. So every year I'm like, man, I got to get into hunting. But now it's like I'm 36. Never did it. My old man doesn't hunt. I don't have anyone to go with. With my luck, I'd shoot a deer and kill it. That would be my luck. I'd shoot this big monster buck, and I'd be like, I don't know what to do. So, that's the whole thing about that. So anyway, yeah, the first week of NFL, it's what everyone looks forward to. Yours, myself included. Like I said, I just wish we had more friends that were Packer fans so we could have Packer parties, because it's always just me by myself watching it, trying to explain to my son that he's on a bad path, like in the Chicago Bears. All right, let's get into some emails here. We're gonna start off with I got a message here. Now, again, you can always reach me at the Facebook, at the Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show. Leave me a message. I have one right here from Ben. I can always count on Ben to send a message. I'd like to hear your take on the new bullshit safety spouts on gas cans. I hate them. 75% of the time, I end up spilling gas. And I'm going to be honest with you, I hate them too. I hate them too. As a matter of fact, it's funny that you brought that up because when I became a homeowner, I had a lawnmower and I was all excited about cutting grass and doing all that shit. And then I needed to get a gas can, and I went to buy one, and I mean, I don't know, I don't know how old people usually are when they start getting in the market for gas cans, but usually when you buy a house, it's something you need. And growing up, we always had the old, just that red gas can with the yellow, little spout on there, and you would flick the thing in the back, and then you just pour it out. And yeah, and that's what I was looking for. And I couldn't find it. And I felt like an idiot because I was like, "Where's like?" And I was like, because I was looking at this new one, and I went to the guy at the hardware store. I'm like, "Where's the ones that don't have this goddamn thing on here?" Well, they don't make those anymore. So then I had to buy this new one. And you're absolutely right. It's just a pain in the ass that because the first one I had, you had to push down on it, which would then release the gasoline to come out. And then all of a sudden it would fill up real and all of a sudden it would be towards the end, because I always fill to the top. I don't leave it short. I always fill to the very top of the gas of the gas tank, always, every single time. And it's hard to fill it to the very top when you have the safety thing that you're holding down, and then you're holding the gas can, and yeah, you spill gas everywhere. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I shouldn't fill it so high. And then I was like, no, that's just the way I am. I need every square inch, cubic inch. Excuse me. We're talking volume. Cubic inch. I need every cubic inch of that gas tank filled. So no, I'm not a fan of it. Now I got a different one where now you have to. It's so that first one had a thing on it where you had to put it in the gas tank, and then you had to push down on it, utilizing the where you screw on the cap. And I didn't like that. Now I have one where there's a button, so you tip it up, and then you got to press this button, which is kind of nicer because it's a little easier just to let go of the button. But still, it's like unorthodox because you have to because I got the 5-gallon gas tank, gas can or whatever, and it's not. I mean, I'm one strong son of a bitch. Don't get me wrong. I'm incredibly strong, but it is because you're holding it with one hand, then you got to hold that stupid nozzle, then you have to. It's kind of like patting your head and rub your tummy at the same time. Sounds like it's easy, but you have to really think about it, and sometimes it can get a little tricky on you. And I just miss the old ones. I agree with you 100%. Safety is important. Don't get me wrong. Safety's real big, but I think it sometimes can just can't we just leave some things alone? And this is a perfect example. Let's just leave some things alone. Some things are fine the way they are. God. Oh, safety. Such a joke. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think they need to stop, and they need to come up with some the old school ones. Let's see if we got any emails. Again, you can email me at jkennoag@outlook.com. We have one here from the Dortster. All right, what does the Dortster have to say? Hello. It's always a pleasure to listen to Casadella on the podcast. Yeah, Casadella was, if you missed it last week, Casadella was on the podcast, guest hosting. She was going to be on tonight, but she is upstairs working on the grocery list, and I don't know what to tell you. She has to finish her chores before she can have fun. Okay. What does she say here? I'm really digging the song slash band of the week. Dexter and the Moonrocks reminds me of a Mila Music type band. I thought the same exact thing. Mila Music, if you happen to be listening to this and you're not from Northeast Wisconsin, specifically Appleton, first weekend in August is Mile of Music, which I and my wife go to every single year, along with some others, including the Dortster. Um, and it's a great time. It's a weekend of music, original music, and there's all sorts of bands. Um, and yes, Dexter and the Moonrocks definitely reminded me of Milo Music too. This got me thinking. Now she continues. This got me thinking. I am someone who loves music in all sorts of genres, but how do you feel about music being played around a bonfire? Interesting. I'm pretty sure I'm in the minority here, but I personally can't stand it 90% of the time. I love sitting around a fire, hearing the crackling of the wood, enjoying the conversations with others, and the peace and quiet surrounding us. There's just something about relaxing around a fire with no added noise in the background. Do you ever feel there's a time and place for music around a fire, or should there always be music around a fire? Interesting. I agree with you 100%. So last week when Castello was on, I was talking about this little notebook I have here, and I write a lot of interesting stuff in here. That that's kind of stupid, but one time I wrote down my 5 favorite things that's not like God, family, health, none of that stuff. Like 5 things that are just like unordinary, but my favorite things. Number 1, driving around on a beautiful day with the windows down, radio up, right? Yeah, I mean, I said that a million times. Windows down, radio up, baby. That's my number 1 favorite thing. My second favorite thing, Hawaiian pizza. And I should say this is in no specific order. My third favorite thing, roller coasters. My 4th favorite thing, fireworks. Fireworks. Good ones. The ones that bang. Like bang, 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 bang. Those are my favorites. And then my 5th one was campfires. Specifically campfires up north. If you're in Wisconsin or if you're Illinois, you know what up north is. And going up, sitting in the Northwoods, having a campfire. So listening to the music real loud and campfires, those are 2 of my favorite things. But I'll agree with you. I don't necessarily like them together. I like sitting around the campfire and just relaxing and just talking and conversing. Now, if I'm all by myself sitting around a campfire, then I'll turn on some music. But I'll be honest with you, there's some people I know that's like, oh, we always have the music on. We always have Alexa playing music. And I believe it or not, we're not like that. Occasionally, we'll turn on the music and we'll jam out and have a good time, but not all the time. So 100%, there is a time and a place for cranking the radio. Driving down the road with the windows down, that's a time to fucking jam. But when you're sitting around the campfire, you just gotta take it easy. So I agree with you 100%. 100%. That sometimes they can get a little over the top. On another note, what is your most favorite childhood memory? Sincerely, Dortster. Oh, geez, good question. My favorite childhood memory of all time on the spot. Let me think about this, and I'll see if it changes next week. But I would say I have a lot of great memories as a child. But and the first thing that comes to my mind, and maybe probably because I was just talking about my 5 favorite things ever. Every single year when I was a kid, we would go to Six Flags with my cousins, some aunts, some aunts and uncles, but and my grandma, and we specifically called it "Break Your Neck with Grandma Day." That was the that was the name of the day. Great, Break Your Neck with Grandma Day. And I have a funny, now that I'm talking about this, I got a funny story. So we would go there every single year, and it was I love roller coasters. I love going to Six Flags, which is in Illinois, but I give Illinois the pass in that one. I'm a big Six Flags guy. So Six Flags Great America, that's the one place where it's like, all right, yeah, let's go to Illinois, so we can go to Six Flags. But so that's a lot of memories, but that's probably one of my favorites. I'll think more about that during the week and see if I can. Because maybe there's other. I know there's fantastic memories, but that was something that I always enjoyed doing. One time, I went on a roller coaster, the Raging Bull, at Six Flags Great America. Me and my grandma, and we sat in the front row, right? Because I'm always front row. The line might be a little longer, but I'm sitting in the front. So me and Grandma sat in the front row of the Raging Bull, and we went and we were going up the hill, and we were going down. Then we went down the big hill, first big hill, and we're going extremely fast. And she's holding her heart, dude. She's holding her heart, and I see this out of my peripheral vision, and I'm freaking out. Like, oh no, my grandma's having a heart attack on the Raging Bull, And I'm like, grandma, and she's just like, not doing anything. And we get done with the roller coaster. It comes to a stop. I'm like, grandma, you're right. She's right. She's like, yeah, I'm great. That was crazy. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm like, you're holding your heart? Are you having a heart attack? She's like, no, she had glass. She's like, oh, I was just holding my glasses. She had glasses on like the string, like the string on your glasses. The old ladies have that string on their glasses so they can, wear them around their neck like a necklace. And she was holding her glasses the whole time. Which, in hindsight, thank God, because I was pretty goddamn nervous. But we still talk about that to this day. I'll think about some other memories I might have as a child. I have a lot of good ones. I just had one the other day about my dad, actually. I remember one time when I was real little, I just thought about this the other day. I had some like pet caterpillars. And I remember my old man brought he said he was driving down the road and he saw a caterpillar on the road. Must have eagle vision, and he brought it home for me. And I always thought that was pretty cool. And the other day, and the reason I thought about it is because the other day I was walking down the road for work, because I'm in construction. God damn it, building shit and building roads. And I was walking down a road that we were working on, and I saw a caterpillar, and I wanted to, but I didn't have a way to. But I was a long way from home, and I didn't have a way to bring it home, and I was like, I should bring this home to my kids, and I wasn't able to. And then I actually thought about getting a jar and poking holes in the lid of the jar and just keeping it in my car just in case I ever come across another caterpillar. But so, we'll see if I. But that's another just a little memory that I have or whatever. But so I'll think more of some memories. That's fun. Hey, why don't you, if you're listening at home and you have some fantastic childhood memories, that'd be a nice way to lighten up the show a little bit. Send them in. I'll read them on air. I guarantee you they'll get read because I only have 3 emails to choose from. All right, here. Sent from Ange. Subject, grass. I just listened to your podcast about your grass treatment. This may be an unpopular opinion. I was confused. Was I listening to a podcast called How to Take Care of Your Lawn? If so, I wouldn't have selected the channel. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes, but 30 minutes? A little too much about grass treatment, J-Kenn. The show got back on track with Big Al's email. So that was 2 shows ago. Yeah, thanks for the honest review there. Maybe not the best show that I had, but I actually was pretty excited about that goddamn grass show. I was really excited about that show. And I was really excited to help people out with their lawns. So I'm sorry that that you didn't like it. But well, what are you gonna do? Another email from Ange. Last week's show, redemption. Way to come back strong with bringing back Casadilla for week 13 following your How to Grow Grass segment. That was about as exciting to listen to as it was to watch grass grow. Jesus Christ. LOL, I hope you know I'm your biggest fan and keep forward and look. Oh, boy. I hope I know I'm your biggest fan and look forward to each of your shows. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we're trying. We're trying, I was thinking this thing might take off, but it's I still haven't gotten a call from Rogan yet. I was really hoping that this thing would take off and I could sell it for like $5 million. Or just keep doing it full time and not have to go to work for real life. Isn't that the American dream? That's the American dream. Getting paid to not work. Right? Am I right? Isn't that what everyone wants to do? All right, maybe I should not go down that path right now. Those are the emails. Again, you can email me at jkennoag@outlook.com or find me on the Facebook at the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show. And I'm also on truth.com. I'm just kidding. I'm not on truth or whatever it's called. Okay. Unordinary. Okay, so this unordinary opinion this week. I've had this one queued up for a while. And I was always afraid to say it because I don't want you guys to think down on me. But I'm going to say it. If you're a man, okay, if you are a man or woman who is now a man, or if you if you go to the bathroom in the men's bathroom and you go pee, okay? If you go pee, I personally think that washing your hands after going pee is overrated. I think it's overrated. Now, if you go number 2, yes, you definitely have to wash your hands. That's a no-brainer. You're disgusting if you don't. 100%. If you're a woman, I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but if you're a woman and you go 1 or 2, you probably should wash your hands as well. Now, this is the reason why I think a man going pee in a urinal or just standing up doesn't need to wash his hands. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't touch anything, really, when I wash my hands. I don't really touch anything at all. Yeah, I don't touch. If I have to flush the urinal, I use like my elbow, right? If I have to, I open the door handle, I use a paper towel. If I have to lift the toilet seat, to be honest with you, I use my foot. And if I touch Mr. Johnny, I don't understand what's the big deal? Like, why is he dirty? Like, why is the Johnson, like, well, you touched your wiener. You have to why? I don't get it. It's just a part of your body. When I touch my leg, I don't wash my hands. When I touch my face, I don't wash my hands. When I touch my anything, you don't wash your hands. So why is it that it's you touched that you have to wash your hands? I don't I don't quite get it. I mean, if you have a significant other, they touch it. They touch it with a lot of different body parts. So, you know, you think about that? Like, they touch it with things that aren't their hands. And and no one's freaking out about that. So why do I gotta be all like wash my hands after I go pee? I don't get it. Because I watch these people in a public bathroom. They'll go to the bathroom, pee in the urinal, then they wash their hands, then they grab the door handle and walk right out. And I'm thinking to myself, that door handle has more germs on it than your wiener. It just does. So I don't know. Time is money, and I don't got time to wash my hands. I can guarantee you. I guarantee you, if I wash my hands after going pee in a bathroom, it's because someone else is in there, and it's like, oh, I guess probably wash my hands because they're watching me. If I'm by myself, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I would like someone to email me and tell me why I should. Now, if there's some splatter, right? If there's some splatter, then yes, of course, I'll wash my hands. And I thought, but going off that, I thought urine was sterile. Isn't it? I could have swore urine was sterile. Isn't that what I learned from Dodgeball, the movie? Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller. But even still, it's like, I should probably wash my hands. I got piss on them. But if there is no, splashing, I don't know. I think it's, and like I said, I don't touch anything. I don't touch the urinal. I do it at the elbow. I don't open the door. I do that with a paper towel. I don't know. I think it's overrated. So I'd like someone to email me and say, and not just be like, well, you got to wash your hands because that's just what people do. That's not what I'm looking for. I want some scientific reasons why I should wash my hands. And I look forward to that. All right. Well, if you guys, Dexter and the Moon Rocks, I was heard on the radio today. That song, "Sad in Carolina," number 19 on the charts, and I take full responsibility for that. You're welcome, Dexter and the Moon Rocks. I talked about them on this show, right? And look at that, you're climbing the charts. You're welcome. This week's song of the week is in the same kind of genre, if you will, that alternative rock. Next week I'll switch it up. But this song I've been jamming out to also for the last couple of weeks, and I was actually going to have it song of the week last week, but I just couldn't do it. I needed to get Dexter and the Moon Rocks out there. I needed to do it. But this week, ladies and gentlemen, when you're driving down the road, right, we have a couple warm days left. All right, it's going to be warm tomorrow. Roll those windows down, crank the radio to the band Lovejoy. Lovejoy. Okay? This song, Normal People Things. That should be the intro to this song if I could somehow figure out how to get like rights and stuff. Normal People Things, the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show. I mean, come on. It's a match made in heaven. But check that song out. Fantastic. It's a great tune. And also, if you're not driving, of course, watch the video. The music video is pretty funny. So it's like this upbeat song, alternative rock, it's upbeat, playing real instruments, but they're like, but they're like all real, like, but they're dressed up real funny, like doing like funny, they're just funny, and they're not really moving fast, and they're just like really moving. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But it's a funny video. You should check it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is episode number 14 of the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show. Football's back, man. Now we can all, spend the next 17, 18, 20, include playoffs, Super Bowl 22, 23 weeks, watching football and just getting pissed going on Facebook. Goddamn man, Florida doesn't know how to fucking play call. Get ready. All right. See you next week.